1942, and so I'm wondering how that felt, if he was optimistic to turn Godzilla over to the Americans for a while, or if he thought that was a mistake from the beginning, and if he was sad to leave the series, or if he felt he had accomplished what he wanted to do and felt satisfied to turn his back.
デストロイヤー作品を追ってですね、一定の評価を得て、観客動員もできたんですけど、やっぱりゴジラっていうのはずっとこういくとなかなか万年になってしまうんじゃないかと自分でもすごく心配だったんで、じゃあこのゴジラを、デストロイヤーという作品でサブタイトルでゴジラシスという、ネーミングにしたんですよ。でそれでやっぱりこう、ソニーピクチャーズの方に渡すというので、エメリヒの方に渡したわけですね。でそれは結構一定の、僕は作品はそんなにめちゃくちゃ悪いと思ってないんで、ただ造形的にはね、このトマケタイプはあんま好きじゃないんだけど、作品的には、大変楽しめた作品だと思います。
He thinks that the making of Destroyer, there are, of course, parts of it he did not like, but as in the total look of the whole movie, he thinks it was a good movie. He wonders how you thought about it. Did you like it? And he thought that from up to that point, all the movies that he had done, more than this might be the end, feeling that this might be the end, the feeling of handing it over to the Americans. He was just worried that not that it wouldn't be taken care of how it would be accepted by the Americans, and so they thinks that they should have done more in Japan after finding out how well it did in America. So,
did you have a direct reaction to seeing the 1998 Godzilla film in America?
NBC が作ったこのゴジラについては、当時のこうお客さんの狙いがあるかもしれませんけど、スピード感っていうのを重視して、で東宝でもスピード感があった方がいいというのが一つテーマであったんですよね。
Well, you can see by his reaction when he thinks of the movie. But at the time when they were making this, they were actually being advised by Toho what they think should be done. And a fast Godzilla has never been done before. And so even Toho was thinking that maybe a faster Godzilla might be the way to go. They didn't think after it was done that was the way to go. And at the time, Toho was also on board for it being a faster Godzilla.
で僕は最初に東宝の本社でこの造形を見たんですよね。タトボロスっていうのはこう造形して持ってきたんです。でこれがっていうのは一瞬ね、そういう驚きがありましたけど、やっぱり実際作品になった時にそれらしいスピード感があったゴジラになったんで、これはゴジラ映画って言わなければすごく楽しめる作品だったと思います。
He first saw the design of this at Toho, and the first word that came out of his mouth was "Ha!" But he said, "Well, it is a speedy Godzilla, and it's a little bit different. So maybe this is the way to go." But he said it probably would have been a better movie, and people would enjoy it if it hadn't put Godzilla on the title.
で今度はこの間ギャラスとちょっと東宝の撮影所に来たんで、ギャラス・エドワードとちょっと立ち話したんですけど、彼はすごく怪獣大好きで、やっぱり特撮を目指してるんですよね。特撮が大好きで、特撮をやりたいためにああいうドラマの構築をしたんだろうなと。なかなか1時間出てこないんで、私もちょっと都電見ながらイライラしましたけど、でもなかなかよくできてて、日本のゴジラ映画をずっと研究してましたね。今回新しい
And then he mentioned about the Godzilla movie that's out now, and he says that Edwards has looked at all the the Japanese movies from the past, knows the history, has really researched it well, and he thinks it's turned out to be a very good movie. He has seen the movie. I have not. He has seen the movie, but he says it turned out to be a very good piece, he thinks, for the continuation of Godzilla. So I think it's very good for the Godzilla history. Now, what do you think? Just asked if he thought there should be a suit in the 2014 Godzilla movie.
スーツでやろうとしたと彼は言ってましたけど、それはなかなか難しいんだなと思いましたけどね。ただ実際にはああいうCGI 使いながらやっぱスーツ型の動きをさせてるので、そこは彼は一生懸命努力したんじゃないかなと思います。
Apparently they have had conversations with Edwards in the past, and he had in his mind thought about doing some stuff with suits. But with the way it was set up and this CGI being as good as it is right now, they went that way. But on the other hand, he thinks that he did try to make it look like it was kind of suitimation and not just pure CGI. So he thought it did turn out better than he thought it would have if it had just been a suit or just CGI. So I think it turned out really well. Yeah, what do you guys think?
I was just going to ask, the Millennium series that followed after Mr. Kawakita left did not do as well at the box office as his movies, and yet they tried many of the same tactics. Does he think that was because the audience changed, or that was something that the movies were doing, or was it just maybe because Mr. Tanaka was not there anymore?
僕のやったデストロイヤーまでは数字がずっと上がってていい線はいったんですよね。でその後ミレニアム以降は作品そのものの平成シリーズのルーツシリーズじゃなくて一本一本の作品を、もっともっと高めようとしたんですけどちょっと迷走してた感じがするんでそれはもう見れば分かると思いますけど。
He says possibly they were trying to make something better than the Heisei series, and they kind of lost their way, as you see the movies. They weren't basically able to get back to the basics of a few of the things that made the magic during Heisei, or even in the 1954 movies, etc. And so they kind of lost their way a little bit. It wasn't necessarily one person, but it just seemed like they were trying to make something better. But they didn't get back to the basics to make the magic at the time, so the magic didn't come as much as they thought it would.
あともう一つはやっぱり監督の資質によって、俺のゴジラはこうだとか、俺のゴジラはこうだとか、みんなバラバラに作っていく、そこの弊害があったんじゃないかなと思います。
And possibly the directors that did the Millennium series, they decided they wanted to do their own Godzilla. It wasn't everybody's Godzilla, it was their own Godzilla. And so they're trying to make something new with the way they were thinking, and it just didn't work with the fans, basically. So everybody's trying to make their own different thing, and they didn't get back to the basics of what made Godzilla what he is.
So the continuity was lost between movies.
Yes, yeah, that's correct.
それはディズニーのミッキーマウスと一緒で、時代とともに変遷があるにしてもやっぱりミッキーマウスはミッキーマウスだって変わらないんで、そういうものを大事にしないとやっぱり難しいかなと。
The thing you really have to worry about, and he just made the example of like Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse has not changed forever. You just find ways to make the same magic work for the next generation of people, but the original thing is the one that made the magic, so you just got to find a way to keep that magic going in the original version. I think Coke is the same thing. Original Coke, yeah.
I'm very interested in what you've been doing since you retired from Toho. We know that you started Dream Planet. Can you tell us a little bit about that company?
ヒーローシリーズをずっとこう3年間やり続けて、怪獣はいっぱい作ったんですけどね、挑戦シリーズという作品をずっとやってきたんで、そういう点ではすごく自信を持ってできるようになりましたし、そしてそれは最初の初期の頃にウルトラマンやってたこともすごくプラスになったんじゃないかと思いますけど。でその後やっぱり今は大学でちょっと、昨日ちょっと言ったんですけど特殊効果の仕事をですね今の学生さんに教えてます。
One of the things that he has been doing a lot lately is teaching the next generation of how to make films and all of it in analog. He did mention that yesterday as well. But he's trying to help the next generation understand the importance of the analog way to make things. It may take longer, it may be harder, but it is the basics of what makes movies good. Since doing creating his company, he was doing a lot of commercials for things like that, and then it just kind of worked into making hero TV shows and then doing some stuff with kaiju as well. And so it just kind of led into a lot of things he actually wasn't planning on doing after retiring from Toho. It's things that he has done in the past, and so the shoes fit, so he's continued to do exactly that.
As a Godzilla fan, I know that I really appreciate all of your efforts in Japan to continue keeping Godzilla in the minds of everybody. You host screenings with Castco for Godzilla screenings. You've had your special effects movies played for small audiences, and you even started your own line of collectibles. So as a fan, thank you for doing that. I would love to hear a little bit more about why you decided to start that.
そうですね、今バンダイさんでよくこういう可動のフィギュアがあるんで、そういうものを使って、小さい15センチぐらいの人形を使ってやっぱり巨大感を出すようなそういうプロモーション映像を作ってるんで、皆さんもできればそういうのもこうチャレンジしたらいかんのかなと思います。
He thinks that anything, even a little thing, if there's a way to show it looking bigger or feeling bigger, make it more powerful, is what anybody in life, with kaiju, with anything, is what you want to do. He's done a lot with Bandai, and taking a little figure and making it look really huge or powerful or something like that. And so, again, trying to make something even this small, something like this, and making it look really big and heroish. And just huge, making your life bigger than it actually is something that everyone wants to do, and he's been able to continue to do it. He feels very lucky about that. So with your comments and the fans, he thanks everybody for that, and that's another reason why he continues to do what he does for the fans.
You guys thank him for his work. I think we have time for maybe just a couple of questions from the audience.